Hello, hello. Welcome back for the final time to, at least for this year, Conceptember, where today we are taking a look at an album from 2022, Shinedown's concept album, Planet Zero. Now, some people who are fans of Shinedown, the very few of you that would be fans of Shinedown on this mostly progressive rock-focused channel, would probably go, wait, but isn't their 2018 album, Attention, Attention, a concept album? Not really, not in my opinion. But this album, in my opinion, most certainly is a concept album. I'm not going to get into the history because there's not much here. What I will get into is context for the release of this album. This album was released in 2022, in the middle of 2022. It was being made in 2020 and 2021. If you were around at that point, you will remember two distinct things: the COVID pandemic and how much of a pain in the ass it was to say something funny on the internet. So, yeah. And this album kind of focuses around a lot of the fact that speech was controlled on the internet, was very controlled around that time. So, yeah, without, and also a lot of, like, riots and shit, all is gotten into in this album. And so, without any further ado, let's get into it. The first track is entitled 2184. It is Shinedown's only track without lyrics, at least to my knowledge. And it is completely instrumental, and it's synth. And it has this, it is entitled 2184, which can be interpreted in two different ways. The first way is the most obvious. This album is set in the year 2184. However, I feel the title 2184 also lends itself to be interpreted like the year 2021 was like the George Orwell book, 1984, and this album certainly borrows concepts from that book. It's a concept album, borrowing concepts. Boom, 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 bum, 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 bum. Anyway, but it starts off, it's nice and synthy, and it cleanly transitions into the 2.5-minute hard rock opener, No Sleep Tonight. It's, a song sung very angrily by the fantastic Brent Smith, the lead vocalist of the band. It's just hard-hitting. It's just like, hey, watch yourself. Watch what you say, watch what you do in this oppressive world that this album takes place in, because who knows, you could be destroyed. But you know what? No. We're sick of this shit. We've had enough of being powerless. We've heard it all. We're not impressed. And we are the nightmare that you brought to life. So here we go. And it's a fantastic 2.5-minute hard rock opener. It's very, very angry and very juxtaposed to the interlude that opens it. And then No Sleep Tonight is followed up by the title track. And down here on Planet Zero, they swing that gavel hard. It's just like anything you say or think or do, that could get you a whole lot of hell. A whole lot of hell. And it also touches on cancel culture, which was which was the other pandemic going on at the time. It was people digging through stuff you said in 2008, and you would lose your career over it, even if you were a stupid teenager trying to be edgy at the time, No, it's just like, what's the point of that? But it specifically says, they're canceling your feelings on to better days, or so they say, but I don't think so. And it's insane, and it's just like, hey, they've gotten rid of all your heroes, which, with recent events has gotten, kind of insane. It's kind of insane how relevant it has become 3 years later. Check the date when this video was uploaded. Just yeah, a lot of stuff happened in this month that suddenly made this album feel quite relevant again in certain aspects. But yeah, and that song is followed up with another interlude. This one's called Welcome. Also, the back of the case, I probably should have taken notes for this one, but I didn't because I've heard it a bunch of times. I really connected with it when it came out. But if you look at the back of the case, you see the weird interlude tracks. They're not titles. They've got these weird symbols, and I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. But this one, I do remember, is called Welcome, and it's it's just like, welcome to Planet Zero. Please relax and remember to take note of approved speech, protected classes, stuff like that. It's just like, hey, hitting on stuff like, hey, you're not allowed to make fun of certain groups of people, which is total bullshit. Shinedown seems to be, it's just like, hey, you should be allowed to criticize anybody for anything, but they also shouldn't lose their career over it. You know what I mean? It's just kind of what it's talking about. But this is from the government of this fictional planet, Planet Zero, where it's just like, hey, take notes of these things, take notes of what you are and aren't allowed to say, and remember to start your day with outrage. And that song is and that interlude is juxtaposed with the phenomenal Dysfunctional You. This is one of those Shinedown, after two hard rockers, it's nice to actually, sit back, relax, calm down a little bit with a nice acoustic-driven song, and it's a little poppier than I would like it to be, but most music is nowadays. It's just like, hey, well, like, go be your weird-ass self. Go be the wonderful Dysfunctional You. Sure, you're a little rough around the edges. Sure, you like weird stuff. Sure, you might not function the best in all social situations. But you know what? Go be you. Go be weird. Go have yourself a good time. Don't let people tell you what you can and cannot say. Go have yourself a good time. Be the wonderful Dysfunctional You. And it's these are very, very Shinedown lyrics. This is, not outside of the realm of possibilities or normality for Shinedown. This is a perfectly normal Shinedown song. And that's why I like this album, because as opposed to their previous two albums, I know I mentioned Attention already, and I forgot the name of the one they put out in 2015. But as opposed to their previous two albums, this one, this one is very much a return to the Sound of Madness and Amaryllis, and I very much enjoy it, and it touches on very similar lyrical themes to both of those, and it's fantastic. Dysfunctional You is followed by another rocker, The Dead Don't Die, where it's just like, you can knock me down. It's one of those, it's probably, I don't know, a song people listen to in the gym to get themselves hyped up. It hypes people up, especially if you want to deal with some bullshit, or if you have to deal with some type of bullshit from other people. It's just like, you can knock me down however many times you can, but you know what? You're never going to get me down because my spirit is strong. Life's killed me 100,000 times. You can try, but the dead don't die. It's got this amazing hard guitar solo, this amazing guitar riff. The drums are fantastic. Fucking love it. And then there's another interlude that I forget what happens in, and I forget the title of. Again, probably should have wrote stuff down, but I didn't. We get what I can tell you is that it does touch on the themes of the heated up temperature of the time, and that's followed up with America Burning, which can be about any and all protests you want it to be about, whether it be recent or past or future. Anytime a major protest heats up, particularly a violent one, this song, America Burning, will always be relevant, especially if it gets insane, stuff burning down. One of the lyrics in the song is, is this apocalypse now? Who let the animals out? Hip hip hooray, say something shocking. Who doesn't love a parade with gasoline and grenades? Don't be afraid, it's just America burning. And it also touches on the fact that the media kind of played it down a little bit, played down some of the insanity that went on both sides, both the left and the right, and played up other aspects on both the left and the right, and it's just gone insane. Like the world was fucking crazy, man. Fucking crazy. At the time, I remember that shit, and it's the only time this happens on the album where it goes interlude, song, interlude, and then there's another interlude where it's just like, there is no danger, you are completely fine, or something like that, we come to a pair of more acoustic songs, after, I guess, a pair of, hard rockers again. We've got A Symptom of Being Human. It's just like, hey, we all kind of go insane sometimes. It's just like, you've always been slightly awkward, kind of weird, upside down and not all here. And it's a little bit more of the lyrical themes of, dysfunctional you. That's my one criticism of the song. It's a pretty good song. It's very good, and it's all just a symptom of being human. We all have those weird moments sometimes. Sometimes we all feel like we've all gone fucking crazy. So, yeah. And then the next song, Hope. It's just like, hey, you gotta have hope. And that's all the more there is. Again, it's another more acoustic song. It does contain the worst lyrics on the album. It just goes, hey, have you heard? Hope's not a four-letter word. Which sounds like something that would be written on r/I'm 14 and this is deep. But, yep. Here come, and then we've got another interlude. It's just like, hey, knock off your shit. You're thinking too hard. You're showing individualism. We don't like that. We might have to turn you over to the populace for severe social judgment, which segues us into another hard rocker, the Clueless and Dramatic. Not a hostage, not a scapegoat, not a thing wrong except your cutthroat. So get your hands up before the boat sinks, 'cause this ain't one for all. Yeah, this is groupthink, and it's a fantastic fucking song, considering the fact that I just sung a bunch of it. And if this video is seen by, I don't know, 1,000 people, it might get me a copy strike, but that's not gonna fucking happen. And it's just, it's so good. It's just like another day in the life of the Clueless and Dramatic, who keep changing the rules so they can give themselves any excuse they can to get rid of the people that they don't like. Just saying. We come to another song, a pair of, overtly it feels pop numbers. Sure is Fun. This is the worst song on the album because it's just, I don't know, I just don't like this one very much. I don't think it's all that great, but it's the only bad song on the album, and I don't find myself, well, no, there's two bad songs on the album, and one of them is the closer, and we'll get there. But Sure is Fun, it's alright. It's far from the worst thing I've ever heard. My main problem with it is that most of this album has utilized, like, real drums. This very much utilizes drum machines, and there's not much musical great. It's just like, hey, welcome, it's the end of the world, but I'm having a great time. Fuck it, everything's gone to hell. That's that song. And then we come to Daylight. There was a period where I didn't like this song, but that's because it was the only thing that Shinedown was posting on their social media for a little while, and I follow them on Instagram, so it kind of got a little bit annoying after I heard it like 40 times. But, it's come back, and it's just like, hey, and this song is dedicated to, whoever. I don't know if it's dedicated to an actual person, but lyrically it definitely feels like, hey, you are the person that kept me from going fully insane. You are the person that kept me above board. You are the person that, saved my life, kept it all alright. When I don't feel like talking, you make sure I always see the daylight. And I'm sure everybody, hopefully, everybody in their life has that person that, always makes them feel better, whether it's, a spouse, a buddy, a parent, whoever, just, and I know I've got a couple of those, and they are really, really good people. So, yeah. Yeah. It's a good song, and it, lyrically it hits me. Musically, not so much, but lyrically it definitely hits. And it's a good song. Another interlude where it's just like, hey, behave yourself, and then we come to the Saints of Violence and Innuendo, I forget. It's very similar to the themes of the Clueless and Dramatic. That's the kind of the only problem with this album. It does kind of repeat itself a couple of times, with lyrical themes. It's just like, oh no, here we go. Here come the Saints of Violence and Innuendo. So tell me the truth. Are you really surprised? You live in a world where empathy goes to die. And, and it's another hard rocker. And we come to the final hard rocker on this song, Army of the Underappreciated, who are chased by the Saints of Violence and Innuendo and the Clueless and Dramatic. And it's just, hey, this is what you wanted. Here we go. And we're fighting back this time. We're sick of this shit. And then we come to the final interlude called Delete, where it's just like, hey, you didn't listen. Now we got to get rid of you. But it also gives the impression that the system is collapsing in. And then we come to What You Wanted, the final song on the album. It's not great. It kind of repeats itself. It's kind of annoying. Yeah. But it comes to an end, and it's not the worst way the album could have ended. They could have ended with, they could have ended with Sure Is Fun. So, yeah. And that was Planet Zero. Give it a listen. This isn't like a go buy it. I mean, obviously I did because I really do like it, and I felt it was worth buying it to not suffer through the ads. So, if you like Shinedown, and if you felt like there was some bullshit that went down, or that goes down in the current day, you can definitely go and buy this. This is, again, this album is far from perfect, but this album was released in 2022. In my opinion, most albums have, have been far from tolerable since at least 2008. So, and that's only gotten worse in the 16, 17 years since. So, but Shinedown put out something that, was not only good, but that was great in the year of 2022. And I think that is fantastic, and I think that is more than enough reason to listen to it. And if you don't want to listen to the whole album, definitely listen to No Sleep Tonight, Planet Zero, Dysfunctional You, America Burning, and The Clueless and Dramatic. Those are what I'm going to recommend to you. And with that, I would like to thank you all very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video and want to hear more from me, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe and all that bullshit. If you want to hear me talk about something other than music, I have a podcast with two of my buddies. It's called Dorkies. I will leave a link to the latest episode of that in the description down below. And if you want to hear what I happen to be listening to that day, you can follow me on Instagram. I will leave a link to that in the description down below. I post a song on my story there every single day. And with that, I would like to thank you all very much for watching and remind you to stay weird and keep jamming. See you in the next one. Take care.